Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. So today is Disney's Investor Day, where they're having a live stream for 4 hours straight, announcing a bunch of new shows and movies for all their IPs. And they absolutely went off on Star Wars today. So this is going to be a bit of a different kind of video for you guys. I'm going to be breaking down one by one every new show and or movie that they announced, and I will be going through all of them, like I said, one by one. So first up, we have Rangers of the New Republic. It's going to be a new series set within the timeline of The Mandalorian, and it will be coming to Disney Plus. We don't really know anything else about it. We don't know if it's going to be animated. We don't know if it's going to be live action. Quite frankly, I hope that it's animated. I hope that it's an animated show exploring what happens between episode 6 and 7. I was going to record a whole video on this, but a quick little topic right now I want to discuss is that's something that Disney hasn't done, and I really thought that by now they would have done that, to make a show to explore what happened between 6 and 7, what happened in 30 years of the galaxy. You know, The Mandalorian's diving into that a little bit, but this show hopefully will give us more answers in that regard. Our second show that was announced is Ahsoka, an original series that is going to star Rosario Dawson, so we know it's live action, set within the timeline of The Mandalorian, and it's going to be directed by, well, not directed, but produced by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So, first initial impressions on Ahsoka, I am kind of iffy on it. Why, you may ask, is because I didn't love Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. I much more prefer Ashley Eckstein because that's who I'm used to voicing her. You know, that she voiced her all throughout Clone Wars and Rebels. And, you know, I was watching Kessel Run Transmission's live stream. They said that this might be the Rebel sequel series that they were talking about long ago. And if that's the case, I kind of would want that to be animated. Obviously, this is live action since it's starring Rosario Dawson. But if it's not the Rebel sequel series, then what else could it be? You know, it has to be that because at the time of The Mandalorian, obviously, episode 5 spoilers, we now know that that's a backdoor pilot. What happened in that episode is a backdoor pilot for her going to find Grand Admiral Thrawn and thus finding Ezra Bridger. Again, I would kind of wish that this would be an animated series, but I'm sure that they're going to do a great job with it since they're doing a great job with The Mandalorian. Next up, we have Andor, which is obviously the Cassian Andor series that was announced long ago. All they said about it is that it's going to be streaming in 2022, so we have a concrete release date, or release year, I should say, for that. You know, I never talked about this show on the channel, so I guess I'll give my thoughts on it briefly. First and foremost, I will say I like Rogue One. I like the movie a lot, but I don't think we really need to have a show diving into Cassian Andor before Rogue One happened. Like, I really don't think we need to be diving into that. I don't think anyone really asked for that. But then again, it could be a fun show. It could be good, and I'll definitely check it out when it comes out. Next up, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the series that we know is apparently, according to rumors, going to start filming in January. It's a highly, highly anticipated series. It has been confirmed that Hayden Christensen will return as Darth Vader in the series. That is absolutely awesome. I am beyond excited to see this happening. I think that's going to be fantastic. Whether it be some flashbacks where we see Hayden Christensen as Anakin, or maybe it's like Darth Vader comes into play at some point and you see like half Darth Vader, half Anakin or something. I don't know. Maybe Obi-Wan's having nightmares and something like that happens. But it has also been confirmed that the series takes place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. So this is a show, like I kind of alluded to before, I am beyond excited for. It is highly anticipated by the fan base. I cannot wait to see it. And the fact that Hayden Christensen, there were rumors that he's going to be in it. There were people speculating on that. But now we have concrete confirmation that he will be in Obi-Wan. And that is just fantastic. Next up, Disney gave a sneak peek at The Bad Batch, and it looks fantastic. It honestly looks like Star Wars The Clone Wars 2.0. I'm not going to include any clips here or any images of it just because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but there is about a 1.5 minute sneak peek of it. It's more of a trailer, actually. Check it out. Looks absolutely fantastic. We see in it that obviously the Bad Batch is going to be in it. It looks like they might be Imperial, honestly, because we see them. There's like the Emperor, Emperor Palpatine. Obviously, he's kind of saying that the Republic is being formed into the Empire and whatnot, and they're standing with a bunch of clone troopers. So maybe they do actually partake in Order 66 initially, but then later on we see them fighting clone troopers. So obviously at some point they're going to remove their chips, and we actually see that the bounty hunter from the Mandalorian, I believe her name is Ferrick. She's actually in the series, so that's quite interesting. We've heard rumors that Captain Rex is going to be in it, that Ahsoka is going to be in it, Commander Wolf, and other characters as well. Maybe even Commander Cody. Obviously, they're not going to show any of this in this clip because they don't want to spoil anything. But what I thought was really, really, really cool, at the end of the trailer, they showed the Clone Wars logo, and it kind of burns into the Bad Batch. So this is literally a sequel to the Clone Wars, in my opinion. It's not even a spinoff. It's more so of a sequel that's just, surrounding these 4 characters or 5 characters in the Bad Batch. Next up, we have an interesting project called Star Wars Vision. It's an original series of animated short films that's being made by Japanese anime creators. So it's an anime that is coming in 2021 to Disney Plus. Of course, like I just said, it's going to be short films, so I wish it was more so of an actual series, but nonetheless, it seems like it's going to be something interesting to watch, and I'm curious what they're going to be diving into. I'm assuming it's going to spawn all eras, so I don't think there's going to be any plot involved with brand new characters and whatnot, but I'm curious to see what they do. Next up, the announcements keep coming and coming and coming. Lando Calrissian will return in a Disney Plus Originals event series, so that would mean that it's most likely a limited time series called Lando. And if you've watched this channel in the past on my Star Wars videos, you'll know that there was a leak that there was a Lando Calrissian series in the work over at Disney for Disney Plus, and this confirms it. Like I said, it's a event series, meaning that it's a limited time like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but nonetheless, it seems cool. I mean, if you want to hear my full thoughts on that one, you could check out the Lando Calrissian video that I made a few months back. Now, this next one is something that I am beyond excited for. Leslie Headland is bringing The Acolyte, a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Now, I think that's absolutely awesome. The High Republic, if you don't know already, it is Disney's own era that they're creating in the form of books and comic books. And there were rumors that it's going to be eventually, TV shows about it, then there are going to be movies about it. So far we have the first TV show. I would like to see, in addition to this, at some point, I'm not saying right now, but in addition to this, I would like to just see some general High Republic stuff happen, like a show just generally about the High Republic in the vein of the Clone Wars, because they're very similar in some aspects. Like the High Republic, there's a bunch of Jedi, right? The Clone Wars, there's a bunch of Jedi. So they could format it very similarly to have 4-episode story arcs, or just story arcs in general, where each arc is following a different group of Jedi and whatnot, and they could all interweave and connect in some way if they wanted to. Maybe there's a big overarching plot, but that is something I would want to see from them. Hopefully at some point we get a show like that, but nonetheless, The Acolyte sounds amazing, and I cannot wait to see it. I guess it's live action. One quick note on it, because I'm assuming that everything, they don't really say what it is. I'm assuming they're live action because they actually explicitly say that Star Wars Visions is animated, but they don't say anything about all these other shows. So I guess if they don't say animated, then it's live action. Either way, absolutely excited to see this. Maybe we'll see some cool new Sith in it. Next up, we have the Lucasfilm Animation Department is teaming up with Lucasfilm Visual Effects team, being ILM, to develop a adventure film for Disney Plus called A Droid Story. It's going to introduce us to a new hero guided by R2-D2 and C-3PO. So yeah, not much known about this, but listen, a film following droids, I feel like that's going to be pretty cool, and it's going to be animated as well. Curious what style they go for. Will they go for something like the Clone Wars vein? Will they go for something more so like Resistance or Rebels? Yet to be seen, but definitely interested and curious about this one. That's pretty much it for the TV show and Disney Plus side. Up next, the last 2 announcements are about theatrical releases. The first of which being that Taka Waititi, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, I probably did. He's developing a Star Wars movie. We already kind of knew this, it leaked out a while ago, but he's the one who directed Thor Ragnarok, so he's making his own Star Wars movie. And the last announcement is that Patty Jenkins is directing the 2023 Star Wars movie titled Rogue Squadrons, and I'm kind of disappointed with this one. Not that Rogue Squadron doesn't sound like a cool movie. It does, and I think it's going to be something that I'm going to thoroughly enjoy. The reason I'm disappointed with this one is obviously Rogue Squadron is going to be a one and done deal. It's going to be a one time movie, a solo film, and that's it. Maybe they make a sequel somewhere down the line, but what I'm trying to get at is it's not a new trilogy. It's not a new era of Star Wars. It's just like an anthology film like Rogue One was and like Solo was. And to that, I'm just like, we're waiting. How many? It's 2023. Last year, obviously, 2019 being the the Rise of Skywalker. We're waiting 4 years for this movie, and I feel like the fact that they're having us wait 4 years for the next Star Wars movie, and that there's Star Wars movie coming out 2023, 2025, and 27. I feel like it should be a trilogy. I feel like what everybody wants is an Old Republic trilogy. And I actually recorded the video back in August, discussing that Disney needs to make an Old Republic trilogy. I haven't released it yet. Maybe I'll release it in the new year, but in January at some point. But Disney, in my opinion, needs to make an Old Republic trilogy. And I feel like the perfect opportunity would be, okay, we just finished the Skywalker saga. I'm not going to get into how I feel about that, but I have a video on that if you want to hear my thoughts on that, the sequel trilogy. But we just finished the Skywalker saga. The thing that fans have been clamoring for the most is the Old Republic. For the longest time, before Disney even got Star Wars, before they got Lucasfilm, I remember fans saying they want an Old Republic trilogy, or a TV show or whatever. They just want Old Republic stuff. And I feel like that's the next logical step, something that everyone wants, a new era that you can make your own. And they're not doing that. They're doing instead solo films, because obviously Rogue Squadron's a solo film. Whatever what TD's working on, that's going to be a solo film. And then I presume the third film that they announced, being probably the one in 2027, I'm assuming that's probably going to be a solo film as well. And that's just disappointing to me. I want to see a new trilogy. Like, hey, I'm not saying I'm upset they're doing, solo films. I'm fine with that. I just feel like we need to see what's the next direction for Star Wars. Because right now, if you look at all these shows, what's great is that they have something for everyone. If you're a fan of the prequels, you have something. If you're a fan of the original trilogy, you have something. If you're a fan of the sequel trilogy, you have something for you. They're exploring all eras of Star Wars, which is great. But they're not really showing what their vision for Star Wars is. They're not showing what the next step is that they want to take. You could argue maybe it's the High Republic, but that's yet to be seen. The High Republic is so far just books and comic books, and now they're going to make a TV show on it, exploring some of the High Republic, but they're not showing what is the next direction for Star Wars. What is the next big thing they're going to do? I thought that the movies in 2023, 2025, and 2027 were going to be them showing us their direction for the franchise, and they're just not showing us. It's just a bunch of solo films. So for the next decade, are we just going to get a bunch of solo shows, solo films and stuff spanning all eras? I feel like we need to have something concrete to show us where they're headed. I'm not saying don't do these solo films, don't do these shows spanning all eras. I think you do need those, but I also feel like there needs to be something that's like, okay, this is the big focus for Star Wars right now. This is what everyone should be paying attention to, in addition to all these other shows and movies and whatnot. Anyways, I know this is a long video. I know this is a different type of video that I usually make, but I just thought there were so many announcements that I definitely wanted to cover them on the channel. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of all these announcements. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.